Welcome to M&G Agency Live, your go-to podcast for creativity, insights, and now a spotlight on the amazing businesses we work with.
This series is all about celebrating the people behind the brands, diving into their stories, achievements, and what makes them tick.
From the inspiring journeys to future plans, we'll be shining a light on the local businesses driving our community.
So, whether you're here for marketing tips, entrepreneurial insights, or just curious about what goes on in the world of business, you're in the right place.
Shall we get into it then?
Oh, heck yes. Welcome to episode 8 of M&G Agency Life, Meet the Client, where we're highlighting some of the inspiring businesses and individuals we work with.
We are indeed. We've had some incredible people already on the podcast today. We're joined by Michelle Forth-Burnett, Director at Safety Scotland. Weronika from our account management team is also with us today. Michelle, we're going to talk to you about safety, leadership, and also your efforts to bring new talent into the construction industry. Michelle, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining. I'm a little bit nervous. Amy, have you made sure everything's pat tested?
Yeah, there's no cables anywhere, no trip hazards.
Did you hold the handrail coming down the stairs?
I don't know, I was running. So probably not the best
Was
start.
it clean?
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it?
So, Michelle, let's start with this one. For those who might be unfamiliar, what is Safety Scotland? What's the elevator pitch here?
We're a consultancy based in Aberdeen. We work with our customers to basically help them ensure that they have a safe and healthy working environment.
Okay, so some real important work going on.
Like to think so.
And as Pete mentioned, we're also joined by Weronika, who has been your main point of contact here at Mearns & Gales. So hello, Weronika. Hello. Welcome. I wonder if you'd like to talk us through the type of work we undertake for Michelle and Safety Scotland.
So I've been working with Safety Scotland and Michelle for over 2 years now. What we mainly do is organic social content, and we've also worked on some videos. Last year we worked on our 20th anniversary video for their event, which was really nice. And so mainly just social media.
Okay, so quite a lot of fun projects going on, and I know we're also involved in the events side of things as well. Weronika, thank you for coming back into the podcast. We've not seen you since series 1.
I'm so excited.
I must tell the story about Veronika's backhanded compliments to me. There was a time recently where I came in Weronika, it's fair to say you're one of the younger members of the team.
Trendy, I would say.
Yeah, you keep us grounded. The other day I came in wearing my new trainers I was very excited about, and what was it you said?
They look a bit daddy.
They looked a bit daddish, but you made up for it because last week I came in wearing a new top and you said...
It makes you look younger.
It makes me look younger, so we'll take that. Right, moving on from this, let's kick off with your own career path, Michelle. Can you tell us a little bit about what led you to Safety Scotland?
Ooh. It's a long story, but we'll give you the short version.
Here for it.
So I studied construction management at Robert Gordon's Uni, graduated with my honours degree, and was lucky enough to get a job as a graduate site manager with a company. It was Mansell Construction. They are now no longer in Aberdeen. They're part of Balfour Beatty now.
Right.
So went there, graduate site manager, probably was there for about 4 years. Already was starting to kind of take a liking to the health and safety stuff.
Yeah.
It was just natural for me. Some people hated it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
How was that role as a graduate site manager? Just fresh out of uni. Here you are on the site. You've got your hard hat on, I'm guessing.
Really scary. University did not prepare me for what I was going to come across on site. I remember one of the first projects I worked on, and the project manager asked me to order up concrete for foundations that were going in, and I just looked at him and I was like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know anything about concrete. And he's like, what do you mean? You've been studying construction for 4 years. I was like, I know about change management. I know about risk management. I know lots of things about people. I don't really know very much about concrete.
That's
fair enough.
They didn't send you and make you go and ask for a long stand or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
I had a sky hook. Yeah. So he then said, well, we're going to have to do something about this. We're going to have to teach you.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, okay. So for about a week, when you pour concrete in some projects, you've got to make test cubes because you want to make sure that it's structurally sound.
Okay.
And he made me make the test cubes. So every time we had a load of concrete coming into site, I had to take my wheelbarrow along to the wagon, fill it up with concrete, take it back to my little workshop, we'll call it, make the moulds up and arrange for them to come and pick them up for the testing.
So real hands on the ground, getting your hands dirty learning
Sounds
there.
fun, exactly.
He said to me, you have to know how to do everything in this industry if you're going to manage it.
Okay.
It's all a learning curve, isn't it? So in terms of health and safety, what drew you to the world of health and safety and what keeps you passionate about it now?
I think, well, I'd already mentioned it was just, I enjoyed it. Lots of people don't, but I enjoyed it because I like people.
Yeah.
In fact, I go so far as to say I love people, and I genuinely believe at the end of a working day, people should be going home healthy and safe to their families. Yeah. And that's what's kept me interested. If I can do something in my day job that's going to make sure that happens, then great.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's truly ingrained in your morals, isn't it?
I'd like to think so.
So Safety Scotland has been around for over 20 years?
Yeah.
So what do you think has been the key to its success?
I think probably a lot of it's down to our customer focus. We try and build up really strong relationships. Obviously, we work with over 200 businesses.
Wow.
And we're a small team ourselves. And you need to build up those relationships with the customers so that they trust you. You need to have integrity. You need to be honest. You need to be transparent. You need them to believe you when you're giving them advice, and they need to be willing to take it on board. And we work really, really hard at that.
Okay. So it's the strength of the relationships as well as the work that you do.
Yeah, and we get lots of repeat business that way.
Okay.
So you're obviously very safety conscious at work. Are you also safety conscious out with work? Are you going through Union Square looking at all the hazards and things like that?
I mean, I don't switch off. I think if that's ingrained in you, you can't switch off. But I'm definitely not the fun police.
No.
I know, you must be such a blast at a party. You're like, oh, you can't carry that glass of wine
You know,
without a cover.
It's the look on someone's face when you tell them what you do for a job. And I'm like, it's not just about tick box exercises and paperwork. It's more than that.
You break the mould in health and safety, I feel. You make it you bring the fun to health and safety.
Well, it's not. It wasn't my dream job growing up. But I don't think there's many young people who think, oh, do you know what? I'm desperate to work in health and safety.
Yeah.
After listening to this podcast, there will
Fingers
be.
Oh my
crossed.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, we hope so.
Please contact me.
We'll give your details at the end. Let's make sure we do that. So the role of Safety Scotland then, how has workplace safety evolved over the years, and what are the biggest challenges that companies like Safety Scotland, or just in general companies you may assist, what are the biggest challenges that they face today, would you say?
I think the biggest change at the moment that businesses are dealing with and having to overcome is that we now have a much bigger focus on health and well-being. So it's always health and safety. Every single piece of law in relation to health and safety speaks about both.
Yeah.
But we were very, very focused for a long time on just the safety side of things. And now it's the health and well-being that's coming into play. And that's different for businesses, and they're having to learn how to deal with it. On the back of that, we've introduced an HR support service to part of our business.
Okay.
Because there's a massive overlap. It's all about people.
It sounds like there's a big educational piece that you have, and that you almost have to help deliver to your clients and the businesses that you help, such as health and well-being. And Veronika, maybe you can answer this. How do we play a part in helping getting these messages out?
So we have started to do a lot more videos with the employees of Safety Scotland.
Right.
Just to make it a little bit more relatable to people and actually show them that real people work behind what the message is, which is health and well-being and being safe.
And I think that whole thing about showcasing real people from the business makes it, as you say, more relatable, because it's that whole kind of content piece about being real, isn't it?
For sure. So what kind of industries do you typically work with? And do you have any standout success stories that you can think of?
So when the business was first set up, it was primarily construction. Most people in the business were construction background at that time. That's very different now. And we're definitely branched out recently. So we're now, we still have our construction core clients, but we work with hospitality, we work in the leisure industry, agriculture, manufacturing, forestry. You name it.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a foot in the door.
And that's done through networking and also all the kind of work that...
Yeah, I think people underestimate how important it is to network.
Get the sense that you might be a little bit of a whiz at networking, Michelle.
Social butterfly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got to be one of the fun parts of the job, though, yeah?
It's exhausting as you get older. I used to love it, but now sometimes I'm thinking on a Friday night, ooh, do I really need to go to this event, or can I just curl up on the sofa with my dog and a giant gin and tonic?
Yeah.
And what option always wins?
I push myself to go out. And once you're there, it's great.
Yeah.
And then when you come home, you've got the dog and the gin and tonic.
You always get the welcome.
Yeah, love it. Let's chat about your efforts in bringing new talent into construction then. So you've been heavily involved in attracting new talent to the construction sector. Why is this such an important focus for you?
I think because I fell into this industry.
Right.
You know, I didn't plan to work in construction when I was growing up. I didn't plan to work in health and safety. It was just a whoopsie that happened. And I absolutely love it. I love the industry. I love the people. I love the challenges. And I think for me, when I was growing up, it was never out there as an option for me, because I think a lot of people had this preconceived idea of what the industry is and what's available and the opportunities. And I want to change that.
Yeah.
So that it's a first choice career for people.
Okay, and that's part of your mission, is to go out there and do that. So I guess there's a couple of things to consider here, because it's a very male-dominated sector, would you say?
Yeah, it's changing, but still, there's no denying it's still male-dominated.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of that, but there's also this larger piece of actually making it an attractive route for school leavers.
Yeah.
So getting young people in the industry is obviously a focus to you. What kind of initiatives have you worked on to get those people into the industry, including school leavers, and getting them to consider a career in construction?
So I've been involved in various different things throughout the years, working alongside my clients to try and get them to provide opportunities for young people to come in and do work experience. I was involved with Aberdeenshire Council in the delivery of foundation apprenticeships in secondary schools, and currently working with you guys on Build Your Future, which has been on the go since 2019 now.
Yeah, which is so
right the way through lockdown.
We're going to get to more about Build Your Future. Tell us about these foundation apprenticeships and your role. Were you actually going into the schools and delivering talks?
Yes, I was a teacher.
How did you enjoy that?
Well, it was challenging. You know, when you go into a school and you're faced with these young people and they are absolutely putting you on the spot, asking you questions out with your comfort zone. Sometimes they are not engaged with you whatsoever and you're trying to keep the momentum going. But it was good and it was very rewarding. I had one young guy from Kemney Academy that I taught, and a couple of months after, I was walking through Inverurie. In fact, I was going to the pet shop, and he was coming out of the pet shop with his mum.
Right.
And he stopped me and he said, "Oh, you might not remember me." And I was like, he said, you delivered class at Kemney Academy. And I was like, yeah. He said, "Oh, I've got an apprenticeship now." And he was so excited about it. And I was like, "Oh, it's so rewarding."
That's so good. Yeah. That just makes that worth
Yeah.
So you're making a difference to the construction industry, but also to the lives of these people that are getting into it.
He was so excited about it. He was so excited to tell me. And it made me think, oh, when I was going in there and I was teaching, obviously I was making a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just mentioned it, Build Your Future. Tell us about it. How has it been? So it's a schools competition.
Yeah, it came about on the back of, I sat on a construction industry development forum, and we had a speaker came in and she was discussing a project that they run in Central Belt to try and get young people interested in potential careers in construction. And she said, I don't have capacity to deliver it up here, but I'd be willing to share my thoughts and my ideas with you. And I sat there and I'm thinking, I think we need to bring this here.
Yeah.
But I knew I couldn't commit to doing it all on my own. And in that moment, I thought, I know just the company that can help us out with this. And like I say, that would have been probably late 2018, early 2019, and we've been running it since. And it's all city and shire schools. It's opened up to S2 pupils. They can submit teams of 10 students to be involved in a series of heats that are construction-related challenges. Yeah. And then normally around about 10 teams will make it to the final, where again, it's a day or a half day of construction challenges for them to get involved in. And it's great because it gives different businesses opportunity to put their name out there, and it gives the industry the opportunity to showcase the various different career options that are out there. I mean, we've done everything. We've had contract law cases that they've dealt with as part of their challenges. We've had lane lock block. We've had plumbing challenges. We've had health and safety challenges. We've had marketing challenges. Because all these options are available in the construction industry.
Yeah, and what better way to get these young students excited about them, actually let them have a go of it.
And we try as well that you're representing the professions and the trades, because I think lots of people don't realise there's lots of professions in construction.
Within it,
I think they think, all right, okay, you've got a joiner, you've got a plumber, you've got a brickie, you've got a sparky. They forget that you've got project managers, you've got quantity surveyors, you've got directors across all business types. So it's just showcasing everything that's out there available.
Okay, so sounds like it's a great initiative and it's certainly making its mark.
Yeah, so in general, how can businesses better support the next generation and create more opportunities in the industry?
I think that they need to realise they're going to have to change. I don't know how many times I've heard business owners come to me and we'll be talking about things like build your future, and they'll say, but they just don't make them like they used to.
Yeah.
Well, that's a fact. They don't make them like they used to. And that's not going to change anytime soon. So we as an industry need to change. We need to bring them in. We need to nurture them. We need to support them. We need to provide them with the kind of work environment that they're expecting. And that's the only way we're going to retain them.
Okay, and let's hope that this message kind of makes its mark and that change starts happening, and I'm sure it has already. What advice would you give to any young person who is considering a career in construction?
I would absolutely go for it. I mean, like I say, I didn't choose to work in this industry, but I was lucky enough to fall into it. If you're willing to put in the hard work, there are endless opportunities. You can work in different countries, you can work in different parts of businesses, you can move up the way, you can move across the way. There's, endless opportunities for young people.
I thought you were going to say, I didn't choose construction chose me.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if the local construction industry would agree with that.
Let's not rebrand you in that way just yet. I was also going to just ask about maybe some of the biggest barriers or any barriers that school leavers might come across.
I think that you do need to put in the hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to be realistic about what the industry is. You are going to be working outdoors sometimes.
Yeah. And it is Scotland.
Yeah. But if they put in the hard work and actually it's making sure that they're interested in it, because if they're interested in it, they will excel at it.
Yeah.
And if they excel, they will go far and they will succeed. So, don't just turn around and go, do you know what? My mum or my dad works in construction, so I'll work in construction. If you need to have that little bit of fire in your belly for it.
Yeah, a little bit of hunger for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's chat to culture and leadership in safety. Workplace culture plays a huge role in safety. How do you help companies build a strong safety culture?
I think a lot of it is about worker involvement and engagement, making sure that you've got a committed leadership team. They have to walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
Yeah.
And we try and work with businesses to help them implement it, because it's change, and change is always difficult.
Yeah.
So you need to get everybody on board. You need to have open and honest conversations with everybody across all levels of an organisation. People need to be comfortable and they need to feel safe.
Is there an HR function that kind of comes to play here?
Probably in terms of people engagement, that's probably pulls in the HR side of it. And I think I'd said earlier when we were chatting that there's such a huge overlap between your HR and your health and safety within organisations now, because they're both people driven.
Yeah. So what about how safety's changed? Have you seen a shift in how safety is just even approached in recent years?
I think now businesses are looking more at psychological safety and making sure that people feel comfortable in their work environment to be able to speak up if they see something they're not happy with.
Can you talk us through that? Psychological safety, what is this?
Well, it's very much what it says on the tin. It is. It's just about making people feel comfortable to open up.
Okay, right.
And the problem is there's lots of fear in businesses, and people will know if they're taking shortcuts, and they'll know if they're not doing things in a safe manner, or they're not doing things as per the risk assessment and all that sort of stuff. But they need to be able to feel confident enough to open up and speak about it.
This is where you get things like stop card systems and things like that, don't you, sometimes? It's that way of them being able to report things, but purely just from a safety.
Well, it's like when I'm delivering a training course, I'll always ask people in the training course when we're chatting about things like this, I'll say, how comfortable are you to actually speak up if there's something you're not comfortable with? And a lot of people are not.
Yeah.
So there needs to be more focus on that. It's that openness, it's that two-way communication.
Okay, huge culture piece there.
Yeah. So you've touched on this before, but what are the biggest misconceptions people have about health and safety? Is it just that it's not fun or anything else you can think of?
Do you know, I think for a lot of people, it's very much, it's just a company covering their backside. And it's not. It's about protecting the people that work for them. I don't believe there's a single company owner out there who wakes up in the morning and says, do you know what? If someone dies in my workplace today, I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nobody wants that happening. So they do care about people.
You're right.
It is a lot of paperwork, unfortunately. And I think you've got to try and make that as simple and straightforward and relatable for people as possible.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to hear you say that, because you're right. There is that assumption that it's like, it's another box ticking exercise.
Yeah.
But as you say, there's no business owner out there that's going to want anything bad to happen in their work.
But then if you're looking at the culture side of things, then it shouldn't be seen, like the workforce shouldn't then see it as a tick box exercise, because everybody's pulling in the same direction. Everybody's interested. Everyone's got the same goal at the end of the day.
Okay, Michelle, it's time to move on to the next segment of the podcast. This is a segment that each week Amy likes to rip me for, and I'm glad that Veronika's here as well.
Oh, you're going to agree with me.
Veronica's going to do the same. It's a segment that we like to call Inspiration Corner.
It's the voice.
Oh, God.
It's the voice. It gets me every time.
Veronika, you
I
okay
love
with that?
it.
Great to hear. Right, Inspiration Corner. We need to ask you to get into the corner, so just
Shuggle.
jostle your way in. There you go. And this is the part of the podcast where we ask our guests to share a quote or perhaps a piece of advice that's shaped your career. Anything that you would like to share with us today, Michelle?
I think what I would like to say to anybody listening is that the key to success is probably being in the right place at the right time and doing something about it. Don't put obstacles in your own way. Don't put barriers in your own way. Just if you want it, go and grab it.
And if you, like you say, being in the right place at the right time, if that opportunity presents itself, go for it.
Yes.
I love that.
Good.
Fantastic. Thank you for bringing that into Inspiration Corner. It never gets old, does it?
Yes.
Thanks, Amy. You love it, really. I'm sure you do. Right, we're going to move on to our quick fire question. This is a game of this or that we like to play quick fire answers. Are you ready?
First question, hard hat or high-vis vest?
Oh, high vis, hard hat, Rex, you're here.
Desk job or out on site?
Out on site, 100%.
Right.
Best way to de-stress, a workout or a glass of wine?
Well, anyone who knows me knows it's going to be both.
Would you rather always have to wear steel-toe boots or never be allowed to wear any shoes again, ever?
Oh, if we're in Scotland, I need shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with the boots.
She's going with the boots. Love it.
So this is a favourite. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Controversial.
I know.
So I've changed. I'm now I'm a pineapple person
Are
now.
you?
Yes.
You know what? I'm on board. I'm with you.
I never used to be.
It's not as bad as people say. Would you rather be able to predict the future or go back and change one moment in the past?
Oh, change the past. And there's probably multiple moments I would change in the past.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd want to know what my future is. Like, you want to be excited about your future. You don't want to know what's coming.
I mean, this weekend's lottery numbers would be useful.
Yeah, that's true.
Money is not everything.
You're right. Okay,
Do a job you love in construction and your dreams will come true.
Okay, so last question. Safety briefing before every conversation or always having to carry a clipboard?
Oh, safety briefings. Nobody likes a clipboard.
Oh, I like a clipboard. It
No.
makes me feel important. At an event, you'll see me with a clipboard. I'm like, nothing will be on it. I won't look at it, but I'll just be like,
Makes you feel official.
Yeah.
Oh,
everyone
see, I
looks up
think
to you.
I feel like you look and you go, oh, here comes that person with a clipboard. Tick box exercise.
And that concludes this week's This or That. Well done. So, Michelle, that is just about a wrap on this episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been fascinating to hear more about you and also Safety Scotland. If anyone listening would like to know more about Safety Scotland, what should they do?
You'll find us at www.safetyscotland.com.
And you can also follow Safety Scotland on Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And also, thank you, Veronika, for joining us as well.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
So as always, if you'd like to know more about anything we've discussed, you can drop us a line. You can find us on Instagram at Mearnsgill, and you can also find Mearnsgill on Facebook, LinkedIn or online.
You can also text us directly from your podcast platform. So if you're listening on Spotify, Apple or Amazon, pop us a question. We'd love to hear from you. So next time on the podcast, we'll be chatting to Bronson Larkins from Wellveen, but that is next time. And we'll catch you then. See ya.